I just got back from seeing the Odyssey. Oh my god! That movie is crazy! Holy crap, it is so good. It is so good. I actually heard from someone that it was boring. You're not about that. You're not about that movie life. It was so good. Like, I saw it in an IMAX theater, and in my town, the closest IMAX theater is actually at the local planetarium. So we had to stand in line for an hour to get general admission seating, but it was so worth it, and we got good seats. It was so worth it. Just letting you know, this video will contain spoilers, because I'm going to talk about my favorite scenes, and if you want to watch the movie, don't watch this video. And if you don't want to watch my video because I'm annoying, but you want to know all about the movie, oh, I forgot the website, sorry, never mind. Can't tell you, I can't help you out. But yeah, so The Odyssey is actually a series of books by a guy named Homer. Were they books? I don't know. There's a fancy Greek word or something, or like an English word to describe the type of literature they were that I just don't have in my vocabulary. But it was like a series of like 24 books, and it's basically about this guy named Odysseus and his adventures. Not really adventures, more like misadventures, trying to come home from the Trojan War. And some crazy shit happens. And it also talks about his family at home and what they're doing without him. And yeah. One of my favorite scenes from the movie, it's early on. It is like right when they first introduce the whole idea of the Trojan War happening, is like they're on the beach. This is at the very beginning of the movie, and freaking Elliot Page shows up. What's up, Elliot Page? Hello! It was freaking awesome. I didn't know that was gonna be a cameo. Like, hey, I actually didn't look at any of the cast before I watched the movie. There was a lot of people in that movie. Like, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Tom Holland. Oh no. Mia Goth. A lot of other people. I can't remember names off the top of my head. That shit's hard. But there were so many people in that movie. And it was like the beginning of the movie was Elliot Page, my guy. That was freaking epic. And that was like a good scene setter, because the whole scene is like Elliot Page is waiting on the beach, and the Trojan horse is in the sand. So it's like, hey, they just got delivered to Troy. What's up? Elliot Page gets freaking shot and murdered for being like, hey, this is a gift, and then they kill him. And that's how they get into Troy, though. That's how the boys get into Troy. And then it flashes forward to, like, Odysseus' son. Hold on, we gotta read my paper to remember what. Telemachus is his son. Penelope is his wife, who is waiting for him. And basically, Penelope is letting all these suitors drink her fucking dry, eat all their fucking food in the castle, and Telemachus, I'm gonna butcher his name the whole time, I'm sorry. Telemachus is pissed. He wants to find his father. He is like, I need to be the prince or something, because I hate these bitches. I hate them. I can't stand them, because they're all really gross pigs, like, you know, soldier men are. Sorry, I respect veterans. That just threw my whole thought process off track. So he's like pissed. He wants to find his father. And then it flashes forward to the end of the Battle of Troy, when Ithaca, I think it's Ithaca. That's the town where Odysseus is from, and like the town he's defending and all that. They're victorious, and they finally set out to go back home, and they go a different way than the other people. And spoiler alert, the other people get home, but the people who went with Odysseus, they spend like years on the sea. I don't tell you what happens to most of them. They start going to this island, and then on this island, they find a bunch of sheep. Well, actually, they find one sheep, and the sheep leads them into a cave, and they're like, sick. And there's these cheesecloths on the wall, and the dude, Odysseus, is like, dude, they've got cheese! What? And he's eating the cheese, and then I forget the name of his, like, it's like his right-hand man. And, he's like, dude, we should leave. Like, we should fucking get out of here. We should get the fuck out of here. It's crazy. We need to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's chill. And then all of a sudden, all these sheep run in, and then a big-ass Cyclops comes in with an eye that's like this on his forehead. It was so cool. It looks so freaking creepy. Like, I don't know how they even did that. Like, probably CGI. The CGI was incredible. It looked really awesome. And, so yeah, then they get trapped in this cave, and the Cyclops starts eating people off, and it turned into a whole horror movie. I was not expecting that at all. I was like this in the movie theater, so scared, because, like, could you imagine a big-ass thing like that while you're just minding your business, trying to find food as a soldier who's just trying to go home, and you see it freeing the Cyclops, and you're done. He traps you in the cave, and you're ruined. So, while they're trapped in the cave, eventually they, like, stab him in the eye, and he starts crying in the corner, and he keeps saying, Poseidon, 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 and then everyone else but Odysseus is like, we're cooked. Dude, he's the son of Poseidon. We're cooked. And they make this whole escape plan where, like, because every day he lets the sheep out through the hole, because, like, there's a hole in the cave, and he covers it with a rock so they can't get out, but the sheep can get out. And so, what's it called? They, like, all tie hay to themselves, and they crawl out, and then freaking Odysseus shoots an arrow at the Cyclops after they've already just escaped. So, they're all running away, they're falling down this mountain, trying to get to their boats, and the giant jumps in the water, catches some people, and they get away, but everyone is like, dude, Odysseus, you just cursed us. That was literally the son of Poseidon. Like, how could you? And so nobody trusts him anymore. Everyone is like, nah, you're done. You're not cool anymore. We don't fuck with you. And so they get to this island, and everyone makes him be the one to be alone and, like, stay back and look for food and stuff. And they all go to this house on this other island, and they find a lady there, and she seems so innocent because, like, when the right-hand man guy goes to talk to her, she's just, like, freaking the fuck out. She's freaking out, and she's like, oh my god, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't hurt me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it's horrible. It's, like, insufferable to watch. I'm sorry I made you go through that. And so she says she'll make food for the men if they leave their armor and weapons outside. And these men are eating. They are disgusting. It actually made me repulsed, and it made me never want to talk to a man again. Sorry, controversial. But it was just disgusting. They were, like, dribbling food everywhere, going, just being just nasty, and, like, so disrespectful. And, then, while they're eating this, the woman, her name is Circe, they reveal it later, she comes up to this guy and fucking, like, starts stretching his face, stretching his ears, and hair grows on his ears and shit, and he turns into a pig. And she's, like, doing all this, just shoving her fist down these guys' throats, and they're turning into pigs. It was sick as fuck. I really liked that part of the movie. It looked crazy. It was, like, the transformations were incredible. I really liked it. How many times can I say I really liked it? It was so cool, though. And, hold on. Sorry, I need some water. Meanwhile, all this is happening. Odysseus is out hunting by himself because they, like, exiled him from the group. And so he's hunting this deer, and when he kills the deer turns into a human. And so he freaks out. He's like, oh shit, we're so cooked. And he runs back to where his other men are at the boat, and he gets a knife, and he fucking runs up to this house. He sees, like, lions, leopards, tigers, all that shit, and those are people who have been turned into animals. And he runs up to this house, and he is like acting like he's gonna eat this food, and then because he sees all the pigs in the yard, and he's like, oh, I don't know if it's hard to tell if he even suspected anything, but I think he kind of knew that his men were the pigs in the yard. And then the lady Cersei tells him to slaughter one of the pigs and eat it, and it's all because they ate this fucking meat that they were able to be transformed anyway. And it's like eventually he like finds this ring that he gave his right hand man in a bowl with bread, and he flips it over, and then he like puts a knife to the crow that's in a cage that is her pet, but it's really her sister that it's revealed. And he like somehow, I can't remember what happened, he like makes her turn them back, and then they get directions to go north by twilight to where fire and ice meet to talk to his dead men. Holy shit, that scene was so cool! Oh my god, I thought I was gonna go crazy. They even had good music. Like, when they get to this island where they are about to talk to the dead people, this music is playing, and it is so good. It is so fitting. It is like a vibe. I really liked it. It was really good. And then they have to sacrifice 2 sheep into this, like, they have to dig a trench and sacrifice 2 sheep, so there's blood, because the men that they're about to summon need to drink the blood to be able to talk to them. And, like, while they're there, guess what? Guess fucking what? You are never gonna believe this. Elliot Page reappears. And asks for vengeance, kinda. Well, asks that, like, I don't know how to explain it. Just asks that the person, because, like, Elliot Page only went to Troy because they took the place of someone else. And so they had this little thing, because, like, when they were drawing straws, basically, for, like, who was gonna go to Troy. And so they had this little, like, metal thing that was, like, I'm going to Troy, basically. And the Elliot Page was like, give this to Antinius. Butchered it again. I don't even think that's the correct name, but and that comes up later in the movie, so that's why I'm telling you, because it's important. And that was cool. I think their name was like Cinnamon? No. I'm so bad with names, I'm sorry. And then, hold on. Okay, I can't remember the name of the guy. I didn't write it down. But this, like, spirit guy, he's not a spirit, he's like it's a Greek word that I don't know. He basically tells them, he tells Odysseus. Yeah, he tells Odysseus, like, okay, well, when you either go to this whirlpool and all your men are gonna die, or you see, what's it called? Charybdis? I don't know if that's right. You see Charybdis, this, like, big-ass creature with, like, a bunch of heads, and 6 of your men will die. And then you will sail, and you will go to this island, and it's, like, managed by the sun god, and if you kill the sheep, all of your men will die, because they are Apollo sheep. So, get fucked. And, okay, he's like, okay, thanks, bye, I love you. And they have to run away because their men are, like, vengeful and want to kill them, because he didn't honor them when they died in Troy, and when they died on the journey. And so, Odysseus and the guys run. They do a little skedaddle away, and, yeah, then they're sailing again, and they are going to this area with sirens. And so Odysseus has the genius plan to block everybody's ears with wax, but he's like, nah, tie me to the mast. I want to hear this shit. And it is like, it was such a good monologue. I really wish I recorded it so I could, like, write it down. I could probably look it up, but I'm not doing that. It's too late now. And, like, the main thing I got out of it is, like, the song will sing the thing you most desire, and what you most desire is what you have already lost. And I was just like, damn, I fuck with that a lot. That is really freaking cool. I like it. And a bunch of other shit that was really cool too. But I don't remember because I have the attention span and memory of a goldfish. And it was a 3-hour-long movie. We're to like hour 2. So we still got a whole hour of information to intake. So I did not do well. And then they get past the sirens. He's like freaking out the whole time. He's like, no, save me. It's really funny. But it's not supposed to be funny. I'm just, what can I say? And then, yeah, they're still sailing, and they get to this point where there's a whirlpool. Oh my god, who would have predicted that? And Odysseus like, go in the fucking whirlpool. Even though it said everyone would die. And so his right-hand man is like, hell no, we're going to this trench. And Odysseus is like, just like, okay. What the fuck ever. I can't do anything. And so at the last second they make the turn, and like half of the oars break on one side. And guess what? Charbidius, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Yoink, yoink, yoink. I think that was 6. Snatches up 6 men, and the right-hand man is pissed. He's like, Odysseus, you knew this would happen, and why didn't you tell me? Why the fuck didn't you tell me? You suck. Again, you suck dick, loses points. You suck. Just go to hell. Just get the Wrath of Poseidon, and whatever. And then they're, like, going to this island, and they see the island, and Odysseus is like, you're all gonna die. He just randomly says that. He's like, you're all gonna die. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, if you slaughter the sheep, you're all gonna die. And then they're fine, because, like, their boat was broken and they want to do repairs or something, and that's why they go to the island in the first place. And it's fine for a while. Everything is fine. And then all their provisions run out because, like, the tide and the wind makes it so they're stuck on the island. And so they kill the sheep. Odysseus finds them in a little, like, trench. He's, like, walking in a field, and he finds them all in a little trench. And he's like, if you ate... What did he say? He's like, do you think if you ate quietly, the sun god wouldn't hear you? Or wouldn't see you? Or whatever? And they're like, no, we thought you wouldn't see us. And it's like, whatever. And of course, the day after that, like, not even a day after that, like 30 seconds after that, the wind goes away and they're able to sail out to sea. Guess what fucking happens? Shipwreck. A massive shipwreck. This looked really cool. This was like a good cinematic part. Like, the whole shipwreck scene was crazy. It was like you were in it. You were literally in it besides getting wet. I can't imagine. Like, could you imagine me in a theater where they, like, splash you with water? That would be crazy. Because it was like you were in it. There was flashing lights. There was the water. There was sounds. It was everything. Like a good movie does. And, yeah, so the boat breaks in half, Odysseus is on his own, and everyone else fucking dies. And so then he, like, drifts to this island where this girl named Calypso, by the way, all of these memories are, like, this whole story is through the point of him on this island with Calypso remembering things. And so it shows us finally how he got to her, and, like, brain fart. It shows us how he finally got to her island, and, like, he is remembering everything, remembering his crew, remembering how he died, because he's been, like, dragging pieces of shipwreck up onto the island and all that shit. I don't know, and he's, like, just trying to remember. And, that's my dog. Then she reveals she's been in love with him, and she's been, like, feeding him lotus flower for 7 years. Been on this island for 7 years with her. And he's like, well, I want to go home. I want to go home and see my wife. Because he finally remembers his wife's name is Penelope. And so she's like, well, give yourself up to Poseidon and let the sea have you. And you'll make it home if you make it home. And if you don't, fuck you. That's basically it. And so he gets on this tiny little raft. And he's like, and he's just floating in the sea, and he gets taken away, and he lands on Ithaca, and he pretends to be a beggar, and, like, he talks to his old servant, and he doesn't recognize him, obviously, and he's like, Odysseus is here, he's coming soon, to give them hope, give them a little joy. And he sees how Ithaca has become, like, this trash pit, stupid, bullshit, on fire place, because, all the suitors, they're just taking advantage of Penelope. And, like, he meets hold on. Telemachus. He meets Telemachus. Well, no, he doesn't meet Telemachus, because Telemachus this whole time has been sailing to find his father. And that's not important. I didn't really care for that part. Like, it was interesting, but I didn't really care for that part. So, he's gone. And the suitors on the island are planning to kill him. And Odysseus finds out about this. So, he goes to where Telemachus is. And, like, saves his ass. He's in this church, and all his other men get killed. But then Odysseus pulls some kung fu shit, and saves his ass. And they make this plan when they get home that there's going to be a huge banquet because Odysseus is coming home. And, like, they have the banquet, and it's all fine and dandy. And then Odysseus is still pretending to be a beggar, so he gets fucking, like, oh, wait, this is the part where that little thing I was telling you about, the little metal thing from Elliot Page, he gives it to, Anticius. Shit. Antinius. He gives it to Antinius, and he's like, is this yours? And then I'm Sinon. Whatever his name was. Sinon. I am Sinon. I use that name to commemorate my fallen soldier. I don't know why I did that. And so he's, this is not mine, and starts beating the shit out of him. And so Telemachus is like, the banquet is over, and Penelope is like, okay, well, I'm not waiting. Oh, wait. Then Odysseus gets, like, beckoned by Penelope because she wants to talk to him, and he talks about how horrible the Trojan War was. When, like, I forgot to mention earlier in the movie, they made it look fucking sick. Like, all these guys pop out of a horse, and then, like, all sneakily pop out of the horse, and start slicing and dicing with the swords, and, like, breaking into Troy. It looked awesome, but then, Odysseus is still pretending to be the beggar, telling Penelope how Odysseus, the real Odysseus, may have had a change of heart, because he, experienced the horrors of war, and pillaging, and death, and horridness, and the whole time there have been rumors about these people from the sea who are coming to, like, pillage and murder and rape and all that shit, and then she's like, oh my god, the people of the sea are the people of Ithaca. So, yeah. And then she finally gets pissed off and then, like, stops talking to him. Well, she doesn't get pissed off at him. She's just, like, fed up. And she's like, damn, Odysseus is not coming home. I need to fucking get married now. And she doesn't really think that. And then she has this test because I think she low-key knew Odysseus was there. But, oh, dude, my legs are falling asleep. I think she knew Odysseus was around, but so she set up this test where you line up these axes, and there's, like, a big piece of wood, and then, you get his bow, and the task was for all the suitors to be able to string Odysseus's bow and shoot through the axes into the wood. And if they could do that, then they could marry her and be the next suitor. And so everyone fails, and Antinius fails hard. He looks like a jerk. And the whole time, he has been the one who is kind of like, because in the beginning of the movie, he had a talk with her where he was like, I want to be your suitor. I want to be your suitor. I want to fuck you. I want to be the ruler of this kingdom. Well, he didn't say that. He said, well, your son can be the ruler of this kingdom, but if I and you have a son, that's the ruler, because he's a bitch. And so he is all confident. He's like, well, just pick one of us, because obviously none of us can live up to the task. And Odysseus is in the back as the beggar, and he's like, I can do it. And so he obviously does it, and then that starts a brawl, because everyone is like, oh my god, it's Odysseus. Holy shit, we need to kill him now. And it's like the end of the movie is literally a whole ass brawl for like 20 minutes. Of just people sword fighting, running at each other with shields, running at each other with spears, surrounding him, and then his son drops a sword from the attic where there's a hole in the attic, and then he fights everybody. It was pretty damn cool, I guess. It was like more of a like whatever sword fight, but it was fun. I cared for it. I liked it. And then he is, like, covered in arrows and a sword in his side, and he goes over to Penelope, and he's like, I have a plan. I don't even remember what he says. They talk about going to sail north to honor his men, like he told the dead he would, and Telemithius, bro, I don't fucking know. The son will become the king. And happily ever after, that's the end of the Odyssey. I thought it was a pretty damn good movie. It was a good 3 hours of my time. Dude, oh my god. I had to get up to go to the bathroom, and these are, like, really tight seats. And I have my jacket tied around my waist. And apparently, my mom told me I was hitting every single person's head with the hood of my jacket as I, like, shuffled past. And people were looking at me all pissed off. I was like, I feel like a total shithead. That made me feel terrible. It was not good look. Not a good look. And I also walked through the exit doors that said, do not enter, do not enter, do not enter. There were like 3 signs that said, do not enter. So I genuinely thought they were going to come after me with a flashlight. And I put too much salt on my popcorn. But other than that, it was a really good movie. And you should definitely see it, even though I just told you the entire plot. So, yeah. I hope you guys like this review / recap / summary. And if you did, recommend me more videos. Recommend me more movies to watch in the future if you want to hear my opinions on it. Thank you. Goodbye.